I was really excited to be going to the record store to get the new Earth, Wind, and Fire album. Now this is the 70s. You had to be really committed to get your music. There was no sitting at a computer downloading or streaming. You physically had to go to the record store and buy the record. Now, as much as I wanted to hear, shining star for you to see what your life can truly be, I really wanted to go over to my buddy's house to listen to it with Juliet. You see, Juliet was my sort of, kind of, maybe on, off, pretend like real high school girlfriend. The fact of the matter was, a couple of weeks prior, she had taken my virginity. Or I gave her my virginity. I mean, give, take, really, my virginity was not something I was trying to keep anyway. So, we're at this party, typical high school party. A couple of people are drinking and maybe smoking pot or whatever. And I'm sitting there looking at her across the room, kind of shy. Now, I had heard rumors that she, kind of liked me. And I certainly had a crush on her. So I finally got up enough courage and went over, and my opening line was, "Your hair looks really nice." She turned to me and put her hand on my chest and kind of rubbed it and said, "I like your shirt." Then we began to talk about everything and nothing, anything and nothing at all. And when we finally got to the point where I was ready for my closing line, I was like, "Do you need a ride home?" Now, you see, I had recently gotten my driver's license, and I knew the deal. To get a girl, you got to get a car. You get a car, you get the girl. So she said, "Well, I'm actually not going home. I'm going to spend the night at Tracy's. But you can take me there. Let me go tell Tracy that I'm leaving with you so she can cover for me and we can get out of here." Bingo! The line worked, and now the only thing going through my mind was, doing it in the dark, doing it in the park, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, all right, I know y'all from DC, So, we found a little area to park under a tree cover, and we were kissing, and it's a bit of a blur, but somehow or another, we ended up in the backseat making out, and, it's the first time, so it's a little awkward. I mean, you sort of know where all the parts are. You're not really quite sure how everything fits together, but little patience, and we relaxed, and, we were intimate. Like we did the deed. We was knocking boots, all right? But more than just a physical pleasure, we really connected on a spiritual level. Our youthful innocence manifested itself in something that was very beautiful for both of us. And as we held each other and listened to the music, we realized it was getting late, and I had to get her to Tracy's, and I had one more stop to make before I went home. I dropped her off and went by my buddy's house and went in his front yard, picked up a couple of pebbles and threw them up to his bedroom window, and he opens the window, and I'm on his front lawn, and I said, "Hey, I'm a man! I'm a man!" Yeah, I mean, I had leveled up. I mean, I had a whole new swagger and confidence. I mean, my face cleared up. It was amazing. Now, I didn't want to, be unseemly and bragging, and I certainly wasn't trying to say that she was easy, but I had made this rite of passage, and I was now a man, and I wanted that recognition. I had gotten beyond the velvet rope, and while I couldn't take my buddy with me, he had to get there on his own. I wanted it known that I was now a man. Well, now you can imagine by this time I'm way past curfew, but I'm not overly worried. My parents are out of town. Grandfather's staying with me. He's an older dude. He's gonna be asleep. I'm gonna get home. He won't even know. So you can imagine my surprise when I arrive and he's sitting up waiting for me, and I'll never forget the first words out of his mouth. Boy, there was a white man here looking for his daughter. I was like, oh, busted. We gonna found out the consequences of being late. But no, my grandfather was more concerned about something else. He said, now, he wasn't worried about your race. He was really concerned with his daughter's safety. But now that you're a young man out here on your own, you need to be aware of the fact that your black skin will anger some people. And he told me the story of Emmett Till, a young black boy who had been beaten to death for looking at a white woman. And he said, you know, you have to be aware of these things. You have to be careful. There will be people that won't like you just because of the color of your skin. Wow. The bubble I was living in had burst. Clearly, my cherry wasn't the only thing getting busted that night. I realized that I had a life of some privilege. I lived in Georgetown, and I had a lot of friends, white kids. I went to a predominantly white private school. I kind of chuckled because I remember my parents asking me at dinner, don't you like black girls? And I was like, well, there's only 2 in my class. They're taller than me. It didn't even equate. But here on this night that I had declared myself a man, I had learned a really valuable lesson in black manhood. Well, needless to say, Juliet was grounded. She was discouraged from seeing that guy. Hence the reason we were sneaking over to my buddy's house to listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. So, our Romeo and Juliet romance, yes, I'm Romeo, you got that right. I know you were waiting for that reference. Our Romeo and Juliet romance didn't end tragically like the Shakespeare play. I mean, she went off to a college, I went off to another college. She never came back to D.C. She got married. I got married. She had some kids. I heard that she had gotten divorced. I got divorced. Sort of life moved on until it didn't. She called me one day, said she was coming to town. Her father had passed away, and there was a memorial service that she wanted me to attend. I came. It was a small group, some family and friends. Yeah, Tracy was there, but, she's been forgiven. But I was really proud and delighted that I was introduced as the high school boyfriend. And family members came up to me and said that her father would be so happy that I was there, providing her emotional support during this difficult period of time. And I felt a real sense of redemption, that I had this respect, man to man, that I had earned and I felt I deserved. And it really made me feel like a man. And I realized the everlasting impact and power of that high school crush. Thank you.